Hey everybody, today I'd like to share with you 11 reasons why unintentional domain expirations happen. They still do happen, and they happen in several different scenarios. Let's say that you own several domain names registered with different registrars. Let's say that GoDaddy was having a $1 discount domain registration, so you have one domain name with GoDaddy, one with Network Solutions, one with Enum, and it's hard to handle different registrars with the different domain names. Or for example, let's say you purchased a domain name from a domain investor and he just wanted to push the domain name onto a registrar that you usually don't use. So then again, you are forced to have different registrars for your different domain names. So let's get into the 11 common reasons why unintentional domain name expirations happen. First reason would be that the owner simply forgets which email is listed in the WhoIs record for the domain name that is about to expire. So when the domain notification comes to this email, the user simply doesn't get the domain expiration notification and simply the domain name becomes expired. The second is indecisiveness, whether to renew a domain name or not. And basically in this decisiveness, the timing passes and the domain name is expired, and you're left with a fiasco where your users contact you, or some people that expect to see a website, they see these ads from the registrar. The third reason would be that you ignored the email that comes from the domain registrar. For whatever reasons you may think, you simply ignore it, or you may have change of heart at the last moment, but by then it's too late and the domain name is expired. The fourth reason would be missing out on the notification itself. Let's say the notification arrives in the spam inbox or to the email address that you're not checking every day. Lo and behold, the domain name expires on the date that it's supposed to expire. The fifth reason would be that the person that was responsible and his email simply left the company, and lo and behold, the domain name expires. The sixth reason would be that the domain owner doesn't control the email listed in the WhoIs. The seventh reason would be that the owner simply completely forgets that he owns the domain name in the first place. Let's say he registered it with the domain registrar, he doesn't use it often, or I'm sure some of you drank a little bit too much and then decided, hey, this sounds like a cool domain name, and then you register it, but you completely forgot about it, and unintentionally it expires, but it's a cool domain name, so you stranded and go and renew the domain name day too late. Eighth reason is a bit complex. When you register a domain name, you need to put the email address as the owner of the domain name. And let's say you forgot to renew the domain name for your email, then you basically lose access to that email. So when the domain notification expiration comes to this email, it simply goes into nothingness and you forgot to renew your domain name. The ninth reason would be that the domain owner forgot to set up email forwarding. Some users like to put a different email address for the WhoIs and a different email address that they use in their everyday life for business communication. And some people forgot to renew domain names simply because the email forwarding isn't working or they forgot to set it up. The 10th reason would be, and I'm sure most of you were thinking about this by now, why not just set an auto-renew on the domain name? I'm sure most of you have this option. Well, some people don't have it, don't use it, don't know that it exists, or they simply forgot to activate the auto-renew on their domain name, and the domain name expires. And the 11th, the final common reason that we're sharing here with you today would be that the credit card on the domain registrar that's on file simply expires. Every now and then your credit card expires and you have to update this information with your domain registrar. Some people forget this, and the auto renew function doesn't kick in because the credit card bounces and your domain name expires. So those would be 11 common reasons for domain name expirations. And I hope that you enjoyed this video. And if you're looking into more information about domain expiration, domain names in general, please download our white paper on domainnames.whoapi.com, or you can just Google WhoAPI white paper and it's going to be on the top first results, the landing page where you can download the white paper. Take care.